All right, so we've knocked down a couple songs. We learned a couple more chords that'll enable us to now work on Yellow Submarine, and this is a real fun song. So what we want to do is Yellow Submarine starts on a D chord, so we just find our home base, get that little peace sign going, plop it down here. Got our D chord going there. Okay. Second chord is going to be a G, so we want to just move our one finger out of the way, do a big hopscotch straight across with the same shape, the same two fingers. Lay down our G chord, okay? So if I were going to execute that as a song, it'd be like, in the town where I was born. So that's how that one fits in. Now, we just learned how to do an A minor the last segment here, so we want to go to an A minor from here. We're going to put our one finger down on the second string, number 1 fret. And we're going to hopscotch these two across to the 4th string and 3rd string. It's an A minor. A minor is just like E, okay? Same exact shape. Living a man. Now we want to go to D7. We can leave our 1 and 2 fingers exactly where they are. We're just going to move our 3 finger down to the 2nd fret 1st string to D7. Sail to sea. Now we want to go back to regular D to start that progression over again. We're going to put our 1 finger where our 2 finger is and shift everything down this way a bit. Then he told us of his life. Back to G, put the 1 finger out of the way, hopscotch these two guys across. Told us of his life. Do an A minor again, plant the 1 finger, bring the other 2 across. Lived a man, sailed to sea. Okay? So that's really what you're doing when you're doing Yellow Submarine. You're just sort of looping between those 4 chords. Then to do the chorus of the song, we got to go to a G chord again. We all live in a yellow submarine. So we got to go to a D, take our 1 finger, plant it on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Keep the same 3-2 shape, bring it down to the 2 bottom strings. Don't change the shape at all. Yellow submarine. Now we want to go to a D7 from the D. We're going to put our 2 finger where our 1 finger is and shift up that way. Yellow submarine. Back to G. Yellow submarine. One more time. We all live in a, going to the D, yellow submarine. Now to D7, 2 where the 1 is, shift up that way. Yellow submarine, yellow submarine. Okay. So if I was going to play the song now, we want it to sound like the Beatles do. But the problem is if you don't have your left hand down, it's not going to really work out too good. It's too many things for your brain to juggle, so I want you to keep in mind that it's better to go nice and slow and do fewer strums at the beginning before you try and tackle a bunch of extra strums, because that's actually going to hinder your progress. So just strum it once and then count 3 more through this whole progression. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So nice and slow like that. Once you can tackle it, say 2 or 3 times in a row at a nice, slow, steady speed without any mistakes, then you can start to think about adding some more strums in there. So the next natural progression from there as far as your strumming goes would be to do what we call half note strumming, strumming on the 1 and the 3. So we'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's starting to sound a little bit more musical, right? Still not exactly like the Beatles, but who cares? Right now we're just learning how to play. So again, don't put too much pressure on yourself. The main thing is just get your left hand working really good. As that gets better and better, you can start to slowly increase your strums, all right? So now that we've done whole note strumming, which is just strumming on the 1 and counting 3 more, half note strumming, counting on the 1 and the 3. Now we're going to, strumming on the 1 and the 3. Now we're going to do quarter note strumming where we strum all 4. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, D, So once you're able to execute that with no problem, the last thing you would want to do is go to eighth note strumming. And that's basically going down, up, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so on the numbers, you're going to be going down on your strum. On the ands, you'll be going up. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now in that example, that sounds very mechanical, which we don't want to be mechanical for musicians. So the way you kind of get around that is to strum the numbers a little bit harder than the ands. So the downstroke should be a bit harder than the upstrokes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, that's sounding a lot more musical, right? Doesn't sound like a machine playing, because we as humans are definitely not machines. And that's still a little bit slower than the Beatles would play it, but that's okay. Again, you want to start off slow and be really accurate. I don't care how fast you go, because that would not impress me. What would impress me if you were doing this in front of me as a private student would be, can you do it accurately and slowly? Then your ability to increase your tempo would happen much more rapidly. So you're always better off doing slow and deliberate and accurate and then speeding it up later. It's sort of a tortoise and the hare trade-off. Go slow at the start so you can go faster later. All right, so if I was going to play it about like the Beatles would. In the town where I was born, lived a man who sailed the sea, and he told us of his life in a land of submarines. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. Okay, so if you were born Mozart, you could probably play that the first time, but most of us aren't born Mozart, so just be patient with yourself. Go nice and slow, like I said before. Do whole note strumming, then half note strumming. Just work your way up in speed and tempo. At the ultimate way to play it would be the way I just did it, and that's about how the Beatles play it. So that should be your goal ultimately, but that may be a few months down the line. So I just wanted to show you where you could show up with it or end up with it. All right, well, great job, and we'll tackle another song very soon. Thanks.